It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazaway. Let's talk some sports.
Hey, let's go. Thursday show, November 9th, 2023. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com, and the Fox local app if you're watching live. If you're watching on YouTube, hello. We appreciate everybody that checks in with us. Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Good afternoon, my friend. Same old, same old. Beautiful day outside. I will say that is a
gorgeous
bit out of the norm. Pretty sure we're going to start off the show like we do every day, and I love it. I'm here for it. But Maz, you know how I love these documentaries. You know how we talk about documentaries, sporting documentaries, movie documentaries. Just watch Sly, Arnold came out, etc. And we're always trying to figure out what's the next good one. What's the next big one? Like, what is a documentary that you would sit around and donate 4 hours to, or 3 hours to, in parts, if you will? It hit me. It hit me, Ryan. It came to me. I was looking at Instagram on the way into work today. We talk about this guy a lot. Not in football, not in basketball, and not in hockey. We talk about him a lot, especially around April, especially throughout that, especially in the fall. Talk about baseball. Talk about who's the best. Talk about should he get in.
And we'll let you know who it is at 4 o'clock.
Barry Bonds. Like, tell me you wouldn't sit around and watch a 4-part special on Barry Bonds. From the start to the second one is greatness. Obviously, third would be Balco steroids, and the fourth would be everything independent.
That was it. I felt like that Balco 30 for third was the Netflix one. Terrible.
Awful.
I couldn't even get through it.
It was god awful.
Yeah,
But you're talking about polarizing. You're talking about a topic of debate. Every time you bring it up, as soon as you bring up his name, it's instantly people that hate him. It's instantly people that say you can kiss my butt. He's the best ever. So I think 4 parts of that, and him really spilling the goods on what happened, and him really diving into that, like, that could be.
Did he tell you how his head got so big?
I want a 4-part documentary on Tom Mazaway. Good afternoon to you, buddy.
Hey, guys.
4 o'clock.
As far as Barry goes, I won't watch it. I don't like him. I don't respect him. He's never even apologized. Never. He's a liar.
But
was he a great ball player before the steroids? Oh, damn right. Damn right. Would have been in the Hall of Fame. Without a question.
But he had to go.
He had to go and chase Sammy Sosa, Mark McGuire. He saw them. Jose Canseco. Had to go chase the big boys. Chicks dig the long ball. 755 is my number to Henry Aaron. That's it.
But wouldn't you want to see a piece and just kind of, let's say that's a part of it. Let's say a part of it is the explanation piece followed by an apology, a sincere apology.
He's never done it.
But what I'm trying to tell you, Maz, is what if it comes in the 4-part documentary? What if episode 4
Well, I would have read about it already and said, "Oh, Barry's gonna tell all. He's gonna apologize."
But this hasn't even happened yet. I'm speculating
Oh,
something.
you're speculating.
Yeah, that
okay,
I
I'll
would like
watch
to see.
Okay, I'll watch.
Something I want.
You're speculating. I'll watch.
Yeah, this is not something in the making. This is something that
I didn't think so, because he will never tell the truth.
With the Tom Mazaway documentary, we could do the first part would be Jersey.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Second part would be moving to Michigan, getting involved with WJR.
Yep.
Third part would be after WJR.
Okay.
And then the fourth part would be Woodward Sports On.
Wow, that would be pretty cool.
Look at that.
I got a lot of stories.
I just wrote your 4-part documentary.
I love it. I got a lot of stories.
And
by the way, next year I will be here 31 years.
Significant because
I was in New Jersey for 31 years. I will spend half my life in both states, God willing, I make it.
So
I think you're going to make it.
Isn't that something?
You're officially a Michigander.
I am.
Congratulations, almost.
Thank you.
I think that does make you. I think you are already a Michigander at that point.
Yeah.
But I'm always curious about this with people who like move here and stay here and their kids are born here. Is this home or is Jersey home?
Both.
No.
Yeah.
But listen, if they asked me to move back to Jersey, I would say no.
Because this is your home now. This is where your kids are
this is it.
born
this is where I've
live.
made my last 31 years here, and then my kids were born here, and you guys are here, right?
Yeah.
I go back for my family and for pizza. That's it.
couple of cheese pies.
I think wherever like your kids are, your kids will be here. Your wife is here. Like that whole dynamic. Your friends, that your adult friends, if you will. That's all here. Like that's home. Like home will always be Jersey. Home will always be your family. Home will always be the Mazaway name. You went home for a wedding. Excuse me.
Please.
But home is where the wife, it's where the kids, it's where their kids are gonna be. So home is here.
It's fun, man, to hop in the car and take a ride to the East Coast.
Love that.
Love it. Love going down to Jersey Shore. Love visiting Philly, New York
Pauly
City,
D,
obviously. By the way, they took the tree. The Rockefeller Center tree is on its way to New York City.
Look at that. Look at that. Good stuff there, guys. Hey, we'll start the show today with where we've started every other day, and that's the Michigan latest. And the latest is that Big Ten Commissioner Tony Petitti has not come down today yet and levied any kind of suspension or any kind of discipline against Jim Harbaugh or Michigan football. We just have not heard from Big Ten Commissioner Tony Petitti. It was reported yesterday, Yahoo Sports and everybody else, that Michigan had sent a scathing 10-page letter to the Big Ten and urged Mr. Petitti to not come down with any disciplinary action. In other words, they would just be opening the door to something that they don't even know how prevalent advanced scouting is. Michigan set evidence of Rutgers and Ohio State colluding to give Purdue Michigan signs. That is stuff that we have told you about as well. In terms of the Big Ten, here's where the Big Ten really has a problem, Braylon, for me.
Okay.
The Big Ten is not going through their own investigation. That is something that I really was unclear on, but now it is clear. The Big Ten is using the NCAA partial investigation at this point to come down with any sort of disciplinary action or any sort of penalty against Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines. And I think that's what Michigan's big problem is at this point. How can you, Tony Petitti, and the Big Ten levy any kind of disciplinary action against Michigan and or Jim Harbaugh without A, doing your own investigation, and B, if you're not going to do your own investigation, if you're going to rely on the NCAA's investigation, how can you rely on partial information? How do you do that at this point? I think that's a big problem. And the NCAA and the Big Ten, if something comes down today or tomorrow or the next day in terms of discipline, you better buckle up because they are in for a proverbial, I won't call it a war, a fight. Big time fight.
It's so funny when I'm listening to this situation. It kind of sounds, bear with me for a minute, I don't want to be Dan Snyder in this situation, but remember when they were trying to come down on Dan Snyder said, hey, look, you better watch out. You better be careful. If you want to go down this road, we can really go down this road because y'all clauses are not that clean. Y'all clauses are not that clean. And then everybody kind of got quiet, and then they allow him to take his money with no penalty in terms of when he sold the team. There was no penalty. But anyway, just going back to it.
You hit it on the head, man.
At the end of the day, the NCAA they're the entity that is in control. When things like this happen, that's why they govern. That's why they're in place. When things like this happen, it's up to the NCAA. It's not up to Tony Petitti. It's not up to the Big Ten Conference in Chicago. It's not up to them to levy, to rule, to decide. And also, this is why it's a joke. The NCAA has had no power. Ever since the implementation of NIL, they've had no power. Ever since you start talking about other things and, well, what these coaches can do, conferences talking about, we'll just leave. We're good. We don't even want to be in the Pac-12 anymore. We'll go to, or we don't want to be in the Big 12 anymore. We'll go to the SEC. They have no power. Now the Big Ten, they're trying to force them. This isn't the way it's supposed to go, but it's laughable. We talked yesterday, and I told you in the opening of the show, I said they're going to find out how much power Michigan really has if they want to go that route. And you see what happens. As soon as we get off the air, here comes 10 lawmakers in Michigan sending them the rebuttal to the Big Ten. At the end of the day, you're starting to realize the more information you have, the better off you are. You want to go after Michigan, where you're going to have to go after Ohio State. You're going to have to go after Penn State. You're going to have to go after Rutgers. You're going to have to go after Purdue. You're going to have to start going after other institutions because other institutions were getting this information as well. No matter how you got the information, they all went about getting the information the incorrect way. So if you want to open Pandora's box and go after Michigan, it's just not going to end well, and it wouldn't be the smartest thing to do considering year one, we're already 11 weeks into the season. Just not the smartest thing you can do, and I'm actually it's getting to the point now, man. They're running out of things to talk about because it's the same couple pieces of evidence. It's the same stance by the NCAA. It's the same non-response by Tony Petitti and the Big Ten, and everybody's on pins and needles. Well, we could see something today. We could hear something today. It's the same thing, and you're starting to hear new things come out. Like, well, you know, how did they get good all of a sudden? Now you're hearing the narration change to them scouting this year. So now it's talking about how did they get good so fast? Now do we have to go back and question the teams of 2017 and 2016 and look at the wins and they were losing here? Spare me that. You had like Ohio State and the other teams in the Big Ten were the only schools that had talent that was going first round. You act like Jim Harbaugh didn't come in here and win 10 games in year one. You act like he didn't win 10 games in year two. You act like he didn't beat Ohio State almost if they would have got the spot right. That's 2016. Was the scouting going on then? At the end of the day, this is one of those situations we're all cheating, but we're going to tell on you first and hope by the time we've told on you and it's come out on you, there's so much focus on you and what you did that our stuff, it'll come out, but we'll be second fiddle because we got on you first. They all were cheating. They all had information. They just decided to expose Michigan first for how they garnered their information.
Hey, there's still a rat in that Michigan group. Someone allowed these guys to figure out who the hell this Connor Stallions was, to get into the computer as well. We know who the crybabies are. We already know. It's Ryan Day. It's Greg Schiano. It's, what's his name from Nebraska, Matt Rule. There's a bunch of other guys.
Who changed his complete tune.
He changed it because the other coaches said, hey, we need you on our side.
Yeah.
It's literally, the Big Ten coaches are politicking so they can stick it to Michigan. But Tony Petitti has got nothing. The Big Ten's got nothing. The NCAA, you know what, guys? They only have what we have. They have the video of the guy holding the iPhone up in the stands in the upper deck. They also have all the other little things that they don't have anything more than we know.
They really don't have anything.
They don't have anything.
The they really don't.
11 Michigan lawmakers sent a letter to the NCAA and the Big Ten saying, hey, you guys better wait and give Michigan at least their just and let them have a chance to respond to this crap.
And more on this. We'll get to the Lions coming up in about 15 minutes from now. I do want to let you know that Dan Orlovsky was great regarding this today. We'll play that for you coming up next. But first, a message from Dispo.
That's right. Now, your local plug is open till midnight. Romeo Dispo, Michigan's largest cannabis mall. 21 up, you have to be. And also, recreational only, but it doesn't matter because they have the best quality, the best grade A. They have the best ways to consume your cannabis, whether you're an oil man or whether you're a flower female. It doesn't matter. We got it all. They got the edibles. They got the creams. They even have little sore creams for you, incentivized with CBD oil. So go check them out, man. They're your local plug.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Want to tell you about Fairway Packing Company. For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. All you got to do is visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks. They're going to be perfect. Big weekend. You got Lions on Sunday. You got Michigan, Penn State. Grill both days. It's going to be perfect for it. Order online if you can't make it in person. Fairwaypacking.com. Fairwaypacking.com.
Ryan, what are you going to do this weekend for the game? Because it's one of those interesting games. Penn State, it's a 12 o'clock game.
I love it.
No, I do too.
I love it.
Will you get up and grill early, or will you just kind of hang out? How will you do it?
Probably after the game.
Okay.
Yeah. I might wake up at like 6:30, 7 o'clock and make a pot of chili.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're going to wake up that early on your day off?
What time I make it? I wake up at 4:30 every day.
Sleeping
I
in.
know.
So like 6:30, 7 o'clock is sleeping in for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to go more.
How about a nap during the day?
Not really.
Yeah.
Depends.
You're not going to fade off watching
what you
TV?
drink.
Oh, of course I will.
You're not going to nod off?
Of course I will.
All right.
Of
As
course
long as
I will.
the nod off is great.
Yeah, of course I will.
Oh yeah, man. Especially, I got things for that nod off, man. I go see my good people at Dispo Romeo.
Oh,
There you
look
go.
at that.
There
How
you go.
about that, Bragg?
You
Good
always
stuff
get the
there.
nod off.
Guys, I wanted to play this Dan Orlovsky for you. And just, look, I feel like there aren't too many people in the middle on this Michigan sign-stealing scheme, alleged Michigan sign-stealing scheme. And it seems like anybody that has been involved in the game really is downplaying this. Sure, coaches who keep getting their teeth kicked in, yes, they are against it. But when you're losing, it does give you some cover as a coach to blame getting your teeth kicked in and week out. Gives you a little bit of cover on this.
Or if you're Matt Rule and you're new to the conference, you don't want to keep getting your butt kicked by Jim Harbaugh.
Right.
You're like, what? We can get this guy out the conference,
get
him out.
Get
100%.
him out of here.
I love Matt Rule when he said, "We just wanted a fair chance."
It was
come
45-7, Matt.
Come on, man.
So here's Dan Orlovsky on ESPN with two of the biggest Michigan haters on each side of him, Paul Feinbaum and Heather Dinich, who have never said anything good about Michigan in their life. I think maybe one or two things, but that's it. Not much more than that. But here's what Orlovsky had to say today.
In the last 3 years, Michigan has had 11 day one and day two NFL draft picks. The only teams that have more are Bama, Georgia, and Ohio State. So you can sit here and say, well, there's been an improvement when it comes to wins and losses because potentially this, or maybe they just got really good talent-wise. Maybe that's part of the reason why, is because the talent has, recruitment-wise, drastically improved. And they had Aiden Hutchinson and Dax Hill and DJ Turner and Mazaway Smith as defensive draft picks that were first rounders. So it's not tainted for me. I think this, honestly, the more I think about this feels like a giant witch hunt. It really does.
I think there are a lot that, look, so you're seeing that.
It feels like a giant witch hunt. That's what he said. And, because I think yesterday it was Feinbaum.
Did he go to Michigan?
UConn.
I know. I'm joking. Joking.
No, he didn't. Thank God.
Yeah, I think yesterday it was Feinbaum that said anything Michigan does from here on out is tainted. And Dan Orlovsky was like, no, it's not tainted. Maybe they're just winning these games because they have Aiden Hutchinson and Dax Hill and Mazaway Smith and David Ojabo.
Loveland.
And
Schoonmaker.
Schoonmaker and all these guys that are
guys are in the
first,
field.
second
Right.
round draft picks
Jordan Lewis.
in the NFL
Jabril Peppers.
just continue to perform. And, in college at least, talent usually wins.
Look, let me say it like this, and I'm gonna actually be cool today because I think I've yelled, I've got excited. I'm feeling too clean today to yell and mess up this haircut. But at the end of the day, when you get to an institution, Ryan Ermanni, okay, what you initially do is you take over the talent that is at the institution. So when Jim Harbaugh first got here, 2015, they win 10 games under Jake Rudock. They come up short. 2016, he still had Brady's guys. This is where you get Jabril Peppers. This is when he comes out of the shell. This is when he had 17 guys drafted in that draft class, if you remember, in 2017. Then those guys fade away. Then you start getting your guys in. So when you get your guys in and those guys fade away, you got to start from scratch, essentially. This is when you're not putting the nuts and bolts to your program and how your program is going to be. That's when you take that dive. You're good 15. You're good 16. You're good 17. Now 18, you're not as good. You no longer have those guys. You also got a bunch of young guys. 19, you're terrible. 20, you're terrible. But this is you putting your system in play. This is you getting the type of guys that Michigan would ultimately get. And then from there, once you start getting these guys that are the Harbaugh guys, the Harbaugh system, and also, there's one thing that changes in these last 2 years. What is the one position Harbaugh is supposed to be the guru at, but has not had in Michigan?
Quarterback.
It's the quarterback position. Put J.J. McCarthy on that 2016 team instead of Wilton Spate. Put J.J. McCarthy on that 2015 instead of Jake Rudock. No disrespect to either one of those gentlemen. Put that guy on those teams. They're a different team. So now he's got his guy. Now he's got his system in place. Now he's got his coaches. That's another thing. Remember all those coaches in the beginning? All those NFL-style coaches and all the Jim McElwains who's coaching up in Central Michigan. All these guys that didn't know what the hell they're doing. Pep Hamilton, who told me, I went up there to get my degree in 17. I told Pep Hamilton, I said, yo, anytime you want me to come watch a practice, I would love to watch a practice. I would love to go through spring. I would love to help. I mean, my name is on all the freaking records up here. Never got a phone call. And he actually told me, he said, you know what? If we need your help, we'll call you. This is what he told me, point blank, period. These are the type of coaches that he had when he was getting his ass kicked. But then he realized, I can't be the same Jim Hart. This is not the NFL. This is not where you can just be hardened to the players and keep your door closed and only hang out with coaches and walk down the aisle and act like you don't know players. He opened it up. He brings in Mike Hart. He brings in Ron Bellamy. He brings in these different coaches, Sharon Moore. He calls his brother, hey, man, you got somebody for me? I need somebody on defensive coordinator. I need somebody young. I need somebody that can relate to these players. Then he sends over his defensive coordinator, who wins the award that year. He changed the way he did things at Michigan. That's why they're winning. That's why they're winning at such a high level. Now, if you want to tell me he got ahead of the program and the way in which they went about getting their information, hey, you know what? First ones to do it, everybody was getting their information some kind of way. Maybe he stepped a little bit over bounds. Maybe he did. But you can't tell me that we're winning because of it. You can't tell me that we're blowing teams out because of it. The point differential has gone up since Connor Stallions. And newsflash, this week at Penn State, after they mocked Penn State, what's Pine Fall I'm going to say? Well, there's an asterisk by this game in which Michigan beat number 10 team by 31. There's an asterisk, Paul Feinbaum. Do better. Focus on what's going on in Georgia, because Georgia, last time I checked, they got a tough game against Ole Miss, and they ain't it no more. You just know we're coming. That's all it really is.
Oh, man, that is so good.
It's perfect. The truth.
Right, that's so good.
It's the truth.
Listen,
perfect.
Aiden Hutchinson should have been the number one player taken. The only reason why he wasn't is because Urban Meyer was the coach of Jacksonville. So you mean to tell me we got the number one player in the country, that's where we're cheating? David Ojabo doesn't tear his Achilles. He's a top 10 pick. Talent doesn't lie. We are dominating these schools. They are stooping to such levels because they are that worried, because they are that not good. That's not even a phrase, but you understand what I'm saying. It is funny. It is laughable. I had respect for Ohio State. I did. Never liked it, but I always respected Cooper. I love Jim Tressel. Look, he beat our ass every year I was there except one. I have nothing but the utmost respect for the sweater vest guy. This right here, I don't respect them because you can't win. Now we got to hire a private securities investigating company, which your brother is a member of, to do an investigation. Send it to the NCAA. Don't worry about what's in our closet. Just worry about what's going on in Ann Arbor, because they got to be cheating because they can't be this good. Get the F out of here.
Man, you hit it on the button. Mark that down, by the way.
I just did.
Check mark. Listen, Tim Brando is a very well-respected commentator, play-by-play, ESPN former guy, works for Fox now. He's a friend of Paul Feinbaum. Let me read this tweet to you.
Read it to me.
Tim Brando, at Tim Brando, by the way, guys.
Love Brando.
I rarely watch this show. He's talking about
Get Up.
Get Up. And honestly, like others, I really don't care for it. I devote real time to college football. The only way Paul Feinbaum, a friend of mine who I've known for 35 years, gets into the A or B block in ESPN's Sports Center or Get Up, all the shows, is if he has a tainted or scandalous story. That's not alone. They're not alone. Paul's point, I gather he has amnesia, how astutely the SEC commissioner, Mike Slive, massaged the Cam scam story in 2010. I was at CBS Sports at the time, and I'm pretty sure college football survived it, and Auburn football did not feel their national title was tainted. Feinbaum loves college football too, but these shows thrive on hot takes, and this one is a little short of room temperature for me. Cam Newton. Cam Newton, and Auburn won that championship.
Yep, absolutely. I just want to show this too. I posted this on X. I don't know if anybody can see this, but this is my Twitter analytics page. Okay. If you really,
this is a new page.
Yeah, this is no. Well, you could go to your analytics to see what your all your numbers are.
Okay,
on Twitter.
okay, yeah, I got that.
So this is my Twitter analytics page, and if you see this number right there, you want to know why this story's in the news? Because of this, right here, right there, 3.2. Sorry, Greg, you're gonna have to.
3.2. Yeah.
3.2 million impressions in 28 days. Because all I've been tweeting about is Michigan.
Yeah.
You want to know why? 3.2 million impressions. That is up 162.7%. My wife just texted me now.
That's pretty good. What does she need?
I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever it is. She knows not to text her in the show.
Milk and eggs.
But that's why this story is so blown out of proportion by ESPN and everybody else. It's just not that hard to understand. This is why this story is so big. Because Michigan draws a reaction. You love them, you hate them, Feinbaum, Brando, whatever, Klatt. You got Charles Woodson on the McAfee show. You got Dan Orlovsky and Desmond Howard on ESPN. You've got Lou Riddick. Every sports personality that you know their name, this is the story they're talking about. And they're talking about it because of this number right there.
And why you got
the impressions that you get online, and everybody is fighting for clicks. It's why our good friends down the radio dial are talking about it nonstop, just poking, so that you call up. Oh, let's call her. You're on the air. You know, I mean, it's very simple.
No, yeah, 100%. I mean, it's one of those situations where it's a distraction. I mean, you look at. This is where it's a distraction. It's a distraction at Nebraska because Nebraska and Matt Rule are having a horrible season. They just lost to Michigan State, who is also having themselves a horrible season. And what's going on with Mel Tucker and Harlan Barnett and what the hell is going on? It's a distraction. It's also a distraction from Ohio State and Ryan Day, who's potentially about to lose to Michigan for 3 years in a row. Now I got an excuse if I get beat. Hey, look, they had our plays. It's an excuse for James Franklin, who can never win a big game, who can never win in a big moment. It is an excuse and a distraction, and at the end of the day, it is what it is. I see nothing. I see nothing more happen, I'm telling you, than nothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jay Feely wrote a scathing tweet yesterday.
Jay said he may be able to come on tomorrow. He's he just got the Boulder. You know, his son's kicking at Boulder now.
I know.
Yeah, so he said he may be able to come on tomorrow.
Right. All right, guys, we're going to take a break. We'll get some Lions talk. We'll do it next. 6-2 at the break. But first, a message from Big Boy.
All right, fellas. Wintertime in Detroit's always better. With comfort foods from Big Boy, try the veal parmesan or the new Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl. How about breakfast? The stuffed potato pancakes are back. The classic lumberjack Santa Fe Garden. Also, the apple pie hotcakes are too good to miss. And don't forget to finish it off with a gingerbread shake for dessert. Stop by your local Big Boy for more.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
How would you like to win a $100,000 Vegas getaway? Take your closest friends, and you can live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Cintron Energy. You can drink it. You can also live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter to win that $100,000 Vegas getaway at drinkcintron.com/Vegas and buy Cintron from your local Meyer. Cintron is the healthier energy drink with great taste. You can look good, feel great, and be the best version of yourself with Cintron. So go to drinkcintron.com/Vegas for that $100,000 Vegas getaway.
Hey everybody, welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button for us. It helps YouTube push our content out to more people. We'd absolutely appreciate it. Over 55,000 subscribers on this platform as well. Everybody in the chat, and Mike, MTR, Rhinest, Raphael, Trisha, everybody, whether you agree with us or don't agree with us, Stephen Baffy, Jesse Adams, everybody, all the regulars are in there as well. Thanks so much. We appreciate your participation in the WoodwardSports.com chat. Nick Duncan, absolutely innocent until proven guilty. If Harbaugh is suspended and we lose out on the Natty Run, I will never watch NCAA football again. So that's just a sampling of what we have there in the chat. I want to get to some Lions talk because this feels like one of those pivotal games in the NFL schedule for the team here in Detroit. They're on the road at the Chargers. Might feel like a home game for them. Every other game that the Chargers play at SoFi is essentially a road game for the Chargers. But Braylon, this feels like one of those forks in the road where the Lions are going to go this way and really compete for that 13-14 wins. Or if they lose this game, it could be, minimum 11, upwards of 12 might be the high water mark here.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And what they got to do is they got to start off fast. Like, this is one of those games, you start off fast, you sustain the drive, you get it going, you take their lack of crowd, you take them out, all jokes aside. Because at the end of the day, Maz, tell me if I'm wrong, they still have Justin Herbert. They still have Keenan Allen. They still have Quentin Johnson, who hasn't done anything, but we saw first class.
Eckler.
They have Eckler. They have Quentin Johnson. We saw first
Eckler?
Yeah. He's Eckler when he's on my fantasy. He's not on my fantasy team. But yes, Eckler. They have Derwin James, who's still, when he's on the field, one of the best safeties in the NFL. So if you get those guys, Herbert, to get in rhythm with Keenan Allen early, maybe score an early touchdown, maybe somehow they get an early sack, strip fumble, or maybe get a 3-and-out because they still do have Joey Bosa. They still do have Khalil Mack. If you let those guys get going early, I can see it being one of those games where somehow or another, Los Angeles Chargers, we still the Chargers. We still have playmakers. We still can do this. And you give them the confidence that they haven't had this year. You give Brandon Staley the confidence that you haven't had this year. They got to go out there and know that they're the Lions. They got to go out there and know they are a better team. They're playing better football. They got all their guys healthy. They don't have nearly as many question marks, if any, as it relates to what the Los Angeles Chargers have going on. You're the better football team. Go out there, understand that, and operate on that. They don't get a sluggish start. I don't want to hear anything about it's the West Coast and we have to ease into the game. Go out there and start fast. Start fresh, start fast, and that's up to Dan Campbell. This game, I believe, it's going to be a coaching game. It's going to be a coaching game, Ash, because when I think about Dan Campbell, I think he's a damn good coach, really coming to his own. In year 3, he's got these guys motivated. He is the identity of the Detroit Lions. I think we can all agree on that. And then you got another guy, Brandon Staley, who's a mistake waiting to happen. He is a walking embarrassment as a coach in terms of big-time moments and what he does under pressure, and he's put these guys in bad situations. Kellen Moore isn't doing anything. Don't let that win against the Jets fool you. Herbert, 136, no touchdowns passing, 16 of 32. That's just the facts. So they got to go out there and know they're a better team. I think this is Dan Campbell versus Brandon Staley, and I got my money on Dan Campbell.
The only thing I'm worried about, Bray, is coming off the bye.
Yeah.
And, you could talk better about that. You've played all those years. Coming off a bye, going out to the West Coast, what is it like to start the game? Because that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about a slow start. Yeah. And then by the second quarter, maybe they're down 10 points, and they got to play a little catch-up. I hope that's not the case, but that's what I'm worried about. Other than that, the manpower against the Chargers, I believe our offensive line will hold up a lot better than the Jets' offensive line did on Monday night. And I just think that we can win this game. And I just hate that it's coming off the bye and you're going out to the West Coast. The Lions usually don't win out there. That's the old Lions, I know.
Right.
But still, tough to go out to the West Coast.
It's tough to go out West Coast because it's 3 hours difference. It's a change of pace. It's a change of scenery. Your body has to get adjusted to it, so it is a change of pace. But that's going to be on Ben Johnson. What happens a lot of times coming out of the bye, Maz, you'll get an offensive coordinator, Brian Schottenheimer. You'll get guys, and after the bye week, they try to ease you into the game. Hey, I know we came off a bye. Let's run the ball 3 times with Sean Green, or let's run the ball with LaDainian. Let's do some dumb stuff. Like, let's come out fast. Just because it's a bye week, you guys have been off. You're just getting David Montgomery back. I know you want to get David Montgomery going. Everybody's going to expect you guys to try to run the ball and down that defensive line's throat. That's when you come out with the pass. Hey, first play of the game, try something different. This is when you, as Ben Johnson, this is when you show us what you got. We have been calling you a young genius now for the better part of a year as it relates to seasonal time. I want to see it. I want to see this credit that we keep giving Ben Johnson. Now it's time to put on display. And I think if he comes out fast, Ryan, he comes out like cooking with grease early and not waiting and trying to run the ball like a typical Lions fan, you're going to catch the Los Angeles Chargers off balance and then never let them get on balance.
I think Jared Goff's going to have a big day as well. We talk about everybody other than Jared Goff. When it comes to the Lions and the offense, or it's St. Brown, it's Montgomery, it's Gibbs, it's Laporta, it's Reynolds, we seem to be talking about everybody other than the offensive line. We don't talk about how good Jared Goff is. And I think he's going to go back to Los Angeles and have a really big day. And I know played for the Rams and not the Chargers, but it is the same building.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he'll see some familiar faces that work at the stadium. And he's going to want to play really well. He's going to want that game ball. You see every week Dan Campbell on the Wins gives that game ball away.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and predict that Jared Goff gets that game ball as he returns to SoFi Stadium this week for the first time since he was traded away. Actually, no, they did play the Rams actually a year ago, but
they did.
In the championship
Had
run.
the lead.
Yeah, they did in the Dan Campbell's first year, I believe. But nonetheless, I think that Jared
they pulled
Goff,
every trick out of the book that day.
I think Goff goes and has a big day.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely can see it. And the good thing about when you go out to play in these games in which it's a place where you used to play or it's an area you used to play for Jared Goff, you used to play at the stadium, if you will. I remember when I was with the Jets, and I finally got a chance to go back to Cleveland. I couldn't wait to go back to Cleveland. Ryan, there's one thing when you return to where you were formerly at and you're just trying to do it on your own. You're trying to go out there and have a big game on your own, or you're trying to go out there and stick it to the other team. It's another thing when the teammates that you now represent, that you now are a part of, they want to get your get back just as bad. They want you to get off and destroy that team just as bad. And that's how the Jets were with me. Like, they were like, hey man, I'm gonna mess these guys up. I'm gonna get a shot in for you, or I'm gonna block extra longer so you can get a pass. I think that's what Jared Goff has here in Detroit. All these players know how Jared Goff left that Los Angeles situation, so the fact that he's going back, they want to make plays too.
Speaking of Jared Goff, I do want to mention, he had this to say. This was posted from Eric Woodward on ESPN. This is Jared Goff talking about that Lions offense and that Lions team.
They also said that you want to be playing your best ball in December. We've been through this before too. What does that mean?
Yeah, just keep on trending upwards. I think we've been doing that for most of the year, and we had a little setback in Baltimore, but really been trending upwards. We've been getting better, and hopefully still a lot of room to get better as the season goes on.
You said it right there. Is that the fun part, though? I mean, you guys are 6-2. You're in a good spot, but if you look at it, you got 7 different offensive line combinations. Looks like there's a lot of meat on the bone. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a lot of meat on the bone, both for offense and defense. I'm sure they say the same thing, where we feel like maybe the Carolina game was a complete game, but other than that, I don't know if we've really had one. And how do we get closer to that as the season comes to an end? And no reason to not start this week and try to put together a complete game this week as well.
Jared Goff absolutely believes that this team has not played their best football yet. And they absolutely want to be in a position to play their best football in December. And yesterday, Braylon, you were talking about would you rather a first-round bye, or would you rather just keep that momentum going? Go.
Yeah.
Play a game at home and do this. I think if the Lions are playing their best football, it doesn't even matter what they get. Of course, obviously, if you can sit out and get the number 1 seed, that's obviously preferable. But for Jared Goff and this Lions team to be healthy and put it all together would be incredible as we go down the stretch here in the second half of the season.
I agree. There's a reason why they didn't pick anybody up at the trade deadline, with the exception of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And I'm glad they got him out of Ohio. So we can't have our Michigan guys in Ohio at this time.
By the way, he's on the injured list already.
He's got ribs. Practice.
He's got ribs.
He's fine. I'm just glad he's out of Ohio. Welcome back. But with that being said, there's a reason why they didn't go after anybody else. Now, we wanted them to pick maybe somebody up on the defensive line, preferably the outside, opposite of Aiden. But they feel confident in this team, Ryan. They feel confident in this team. They feel confident in the players that they have. They feel confident in the scheme. They feel confident in their coaches, Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson, and putting them in the best positions to win these games and to have a deep run into the playoffs, talking NFC Championship and Super Bowl. So that's how they feel. Then I welcome the energy. I just want to see it this Sunday against the Los Angeles Chargers. I just want to see that energy because I believe in the energy, and we've seen it. Like when they get rolling, when they get rocking and rolling, and you see the defense, they're doing their thing. They're getting stops. You see Tracy Walker getting sacks, knocking people out. Then you see David Montgomery running the ball, and they're running the ball to the point where the defensive line quits. You've seen it, and we've seen it look good. We just haven't seen it all come together, and that's the thing I think everybody's excited for.
This is the game, Rye. You hit it on the head. If they win this game, they're a 2-3 loss team at worst. Mm-hmm. If they lose this game, I think they go 11 or 12 wins. I just need to see a big road win. And I know they won in Kansas City. I'm not going to take that.
Yeah.
I want them to go undefeated against the AFC West. They beat the Chiefs. They beat the Raiders. Now they get the Chargers. They get the Broncos in a few weeks, and that's going to be at Ford Field. They got to sweep the AFC West now. You beat the Chiefs, you got to beat these other 3 teams. They're a better team. They're rested. They're healthy. Their offense is intact for the first time all season. Sky's the limit here for this team. They got to win this game if they're going to earn my complete trust.
Yeah, you're halfway through them already because you beat the Chiefs and, of course, you beat the Raiders. So now you got the Chargers and the Denver Broncos at home in a couple of weeks, the Denver Broncos. But this is also a 3-game stretch here, Braylon. I want to talk to you about just how difficult playing 3 football games in 12 days, in 11 days. 3 football games in 11 days now. This 3-game schedule feels like a big part of the schedule to see where it goes. We'll do that next. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts and have been for over 90 years. When you see this black and yellow sign out in front of the house, it tells the bad guys one thing:
stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 professional monitoring, customized solutions from real experts, and technology backed by people means you are backed by the best. Call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
That number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Stay out.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equipment Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Let me tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. They offer the same great service that customers have come to know and trust, located in Ferndale on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. And of course, if you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn, where they have been for over 55 years on Michigan Avenue. You can find the brand you want under one umbrella. All GM brands under one umbrella. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Stephen Lehman in the WoodwardSports.com chat, in the YouTube chat, says we could be 9-2 in 11 days.
Yeah.
When you consider that,
wow.
Right? I mean, think about that.
Wow.
Maybe we should play a little A, B, or C. You guys ready?
I'm ready. Wait, let's lay out the next 3 games.
Okay, so you have the Chargers on the road on Sunday. And then you come back the following Sunday and play the Chicago Bears. And then 4 days after that, on Thanksgiving Day, you play at home against the Packers. 3 games in 11 days beginning on Sunday. So we'll go around the room. Is it A, B, or C? A, 9-2. B, 8-3. C, 7-4. Braylon, we'll start with you.
You can get rid of C. If you remember, I'm thinking of my chart before the season.
We're 6-5. You didn't put 6-5 up there, right?
Huh?
We're 6-5.
It's not an option.
Not an option. Okay, just checking.
It's not an option.
Okay.
They're not losing 3 in a row.
I know.
A, B, or C. 9-2, 8-3, or 7-4.
I go B.
So you think they lose one of the next 3?
I go B.
Okay. Which one do you think they lose? Do you have any idea?
Today is Thursday. I might tell you that tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just messing with you. This is an iffy game by Maz. Maz called it out. If you remember before the season started, I had them losing to the Chargers. So I'm sticking to my sheet. My sheet has been perfect throughout the season.
I cannot believe. I think that is worth a mention, by the way.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
In the game-by-game selections that we did this year, prior to the season, Braylon has pinpointed. Braylon called 13-4 or 14-3.
13-4.
13-4, and has hit the first 8. Pretty darn good.
Yeah,
I think we should highlight that. So you're saying B, 8-3.
Yeah, I'm going 8-3.
Maz?
I'm going to second that. I think Braylon's right. Matter of fact, I had to make my picks for the week. You got to pick all the games in this one pool I'm in. And the Lions are a road favorite. What do you say about home dogs? I hate betting against a home dog.
Yeah, this feels like a different NFL.
I know. So I'm going to just say they lose this week and they win the next 2. 8-3.
Parker, you want in on this?
Sure. I think I'll agree with Maz. I'll say 8-3 on that.
All right. You got them losing to the Chargers as well?
No, I think they're going to drop. I have a feeling that this Thanksgiving game might not go the way we want it.
Okay. Oh. JB, you want in on this? A, B, or C? A, 9-2. B, 8-3. C, 7-4.
Don't be afraid to go for Michael Strahan. Go for it.
You know what he's picking.
3 B's so far.
He's picking A.
Make that 4 B's.
Oh!
But we either
B's.
lose to the Chargers this Sunday or we drop a game to the Bears.
The Bears.
Okay. So,
makes you lone wolf.
We'll just end with me, where I will pick a 9-2.
Okay.
I absolutely believe after a week off, the Lions are going to beat the Chargers. And then there is something about this team that is, they do not, it's a different football team, guys.
Yeah, it is.
They play an inferior team, and they do what they did against Carolina to them. They do what they did on that Thursday night in Green Bay to the Packers, where that was never in doubt, that game. I think we have seen time in and time out the Lions passing tests against teams that are not as good as them. They handled the Falcons, won by 14 points. The Packers won by 14 points. Panthers, they won by 18 points. The Buccaneers on the road, they won by 14 points. They beat the Raiders by 12 points, and they turned it over 3 times. Time in, and time out. They have passed every test against an inferior football team, and I think they do that against the Bears, and I think they do that against the Packers. That's why I point to this game against the Chargers as one of those toss-ups that can kind of really set the stage for the rest of your season.
You're absolutely correct. Every time the Lions this season have played teams that are inferior or played teams that you know they should beat, they beat those teams handily, and they eventually got to a point where in the fourth quarter, with plenty of time left, you know that game was over. But those teams that you name, Ryan, they don't have any players at their position that are in the top 100, any players at their position that are in the top 50, any players at their position that you're worried about actually scaring you, with the exception of maybe Brian Burns with the Carolina Panthers. I mean, you look at what they have in the Los Angeles Chargers. They got guys. Keenan Allen, who's always been one of my favorite wide receivers, he's having his best season ever. Justin Herbert, look, he's not playing very well right now, but he definitely could turn it on and have one of those games. They have Joey Bosa. They have Khalil Mack. So they have players. That's what's different than those other teams that you named that they're better than. Because I agree with you. Lions are a better team than the Los Angeles Chargers. But they definitely got some players over there. So this isn't going to be a walk in the park. This isn't like playing against first-year quarterback Bryce Young. This isn't playing like Atlanta Falcons and you don't know who's going to be the quarterback. This isn't playing Jordan Love. This isn't playing those teams. This is playing against a team that sometimes they look like the best team in the AFC West, and then other times they look like they could be one of those teams in the NFC South. So which Chargers team comes to the front this Sunday?
Ryan, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to go on your computer.
Yep.
Bring up Week 13 of the NFL schedule for me. I'm going to make a bold prediction here.
Okay.
Week 13 is the week after Thanksgiving.
I got it.
Okay. What are the primetime games that week?
The Thursday night matchup is Seattle at Dallas.
Okay, great one. What's the Sunday night game?
Kansas City at Green Bay.
And what's the Monday night game?
Cincinnati at Jacksonville.
I'm going to make a bold prediction. And this is going to kill me for my post game. The Saints are hosting the Lions that week. That's going to be the Sunday night game.
I will tell you, Maz, I think you're safe, and I'll tell you why. Because if Kansas City and Green Bay is flexed out, I think they would choose San Francisco at Philadelphia.
Oh, wow. It's the same week?
Same week.
Wow. You're probably right.
Same
now,
week.
I'm not sure
Yeah.
if they could switch. Oh, the Monday night game's got to stay. The Cincy Jacksonville's got to stay.
Yeah, it does.
I don't think Thursday night could be flexed yet, right?
I don't know.
It's going to
anything
be
about
flexed in the future. I'm not sure if you're allowed to flex it. Although that's a pretty good game. What is that?
Yeah, Seattle at Dallas.
All right.
That's
okay.
not getting, nobody's flexing a home
No.
game against the Cowboys.
No.
Right.
Of course not.
Right.
No, of course not. I really thought I had something there. I thought the Saints and the Lions was going to be the flex game, but that's a hell of a week, man.
You're right.
Wow.
You did have something. I can't say it later. I forgot.
I got nothing. I got Stu Cobbs.
I don't either.
Derek Carr's playing good football. I have. What did I say about New Orleans?
That they would win the division.
That they would win the division, and I had New Orleans as a number 2 seed, I think.
You did have some
But
fun.
that's not
going
gonna
to happen.
That's
But point being,
It was like strength of schedule, I think
New
you said.
Orleans
Yeah.
is a team that I believed in, and they do have kind of an easy road ahead. New Orleans is 5-4. They got the Vikings, the Falcons, the Lions, the Panthers, the Giants, the Rams, the Bucks, the Falcons. They could go 12-5, 11-6 at worst, 11-6 at the very worst, maybe. The New Orleans Saints. That's a team that you might not want to see in January.
Only thing about that team is they still have two things for me that bother me. One, they're always inconsistent. Even when Drew Brees was there, the last, I would say, 3-4 years, Maz, of Drew Brees' career, they were an inconsistent team. You agree with that to a certain extent? And then now they had the quarterback, who's arguably the most inconsistent quarterback. And talking about Derek Carr, I don't know what type of Derek Carr you're going to get that whole season, and if he's going to be healthy, because you know he likes to get a shoulder injury somewhere in Week 12. Yeah.
Braylon, you had mentioned the coaching matchup here between Dan Campbell and Brandon Staley. It appears the Lions will absolutely have a major coaching advantage in this one, too.
Agreed.
What about Dan Campbell and Brandon Staley? They feel like both of them feel like they have a similar style in that they take chances.
Yeah. And
anytime you have two competing, two of the same styles in the same game, there could be a lot of hecticness, for lack of a better way to say it, in this one on Sunday.
Yeah, the best adage that they say in boxing, Maz, I know you're a big boxing guy, is styles make fights. And this is one of those situations where you got two guys that are very aggressive. One guy has been burned by it a lot more than the other guy, and that's Brandon Staley. Well, at least as of late, he's been burned more than Dan Campbell. Whichever coach comes out and just coaches a comfortable game, whichever coach comes out and say, yo, I trust my game, I trust my team, I trust what the offensive, defensive coordinators are going to put together, trust what we're going to go out there and do, and you implement, like Ryan, in real time, going with the flow of the game. Whichever coach can make those, wild play calls, or go for it on fourth down, going for it on punt, or trick plays, whichever coach can do that within the flow of the game, and it doesn't feel like they just tried that just to try it, or they just did that just to get a jump start. Whichever coach is the one that, hey, you know what? We kind of got them going real good right now. David Montgomery's running off the ball pretty well. They've kind of sunk some guys down in the box. What if we hit them with a flea flicker right now, something like that? But it's within the flow of the game. It's within dominating, something like that, then it works. The first coach to just say, you know what, we fake punt right now. It's got to be within the flow of the game, and I think that's going to be Dan Campbell, because he's been doing a better job taking field goals, taking chances within the flow of the game. Brandon Staley, I wouldn't trust him for anything.
Hey, let me come back to this, Braylon, because we were talking before the break about you actually played 3 games in 11 days, 3 times in your career. What does that do on the body?
It's tough, because even with the coaches, no matter how good the coaches try to, give you rest time, give you an off day, or it's supposed to be a practice day, but because you play, well, I'll tell you the game. So, 2010, we played, where's the schedule at? I lost. Okay, here we go. We played the Bengals on Thanksgiving, then we played.
Who won that game?
Oh, we did. What do you mean, who won?
All right, just check.
Yeah, we would. So we played, here we go. We played the Texans on Sunday, played the Bengals on Thursday, and then we played the New England Patriots that following Monday. So we played. Woo. So yeah, we played. And the Bengals were good back then, and so we're obviously tight. But that goes into that Patriots game. I always talk about how we got our butts whooped 45-3. That was Monday Night Football. That was the third game.
There you go.
Of 11 games, 11-day, 3-game schedule. We didn't have anything left against the Packers. I mean, the Patriots, they came out fast, and they came out like explosive, and it was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And we just never were able to catch up. It's kind of like the Baltimore Ravens and the Lions, like where you never got a chance to get into that game. But it's taxing on the body, no matter how good the coach is at giving you time and being lax and telling you, hey, look, today it'll just be a, no pads type practice, but we're going to run through and go through the plays. It'll be a mental practice, stay mental sharp. It's taxing. How good is Dan Campbell going to be as a former player that has been through the system before, and he understood how his body felt at those times? How good is he going to be at not practicing, getting the mental work in, knowing when to lay back a little bit? It's going to be up to Dan Campbell and those coaches on how they go mental versus physical.
Guys, Thursday Night Football tonight, it's a crapper of a game. It is the Bears hosting the Carolina Panthers. You're going to hear from Matt Eberflus, the head coach of the Chicago Bears, coming up next, and we'll kind of take a look at this game. It's intriguing in ways, but we'll talk about Bears and Panthers. Thank you, Maz. Appreciate that. Good stuff. But first, a message.
I turned away.
I know you did, buddy. From Swiss.
I should have stayed home.
No, you shouldn't have.
Leave me alone.
No, man.
Part of the fun is beating you up, buddy.
Yeah, look. Swiss, do you have football on the brain like us? Of course you do. Fall ushers in college and professional football, and this year has already been awesome. Fall is also a perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro with the pros at Swiss Insurance. They cover us here at WSN, and they should be covering you as well. Ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at SwissINS.com, or as always, give them a call at 248-800-4177. Swiss Insurance.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of the program on a Thursday. I want to thank everybody for watching here on Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, and Tom Mazaway. We got Parker, we got JB with us as well. We've got a Thursday night football game tonight on Prime Video that features 2 teams with a combined 3-14 record. It is the 1-7 Carolina Panthers at the 2-7 Chicago Bears. It looks like it's a game that's as bad as can be. But it doesn't appear that Justin Fields is going to play in this one. In fact, let me play this for you.
Boy, this guy is over his head.
Maz, what is...
He's way over his head, man. I actually feel bad for him. Matt Eberflus is way over his head, guys. So he's in the press conference yesterday with the Chicago Bears beat writers, and they're trying to get a straight answer from him about Justin Fields playing in tonight's game. Give a listen to this and then be thankful that you have Dan Campbell as your head coach.
He's getting better, though. I mean, he's accuracy's improving. He's throwing it better, and he's starting to do more and more and more. So we'll see where it goes. And right now we're listing him as doubtful, and we'll see where it goes from there.
If he's not medically cleared, well, how come doubtful versus out?
Yeah, just to see. We got to give him one more day. But he's working hard, and it's getting better every day. So we'll see where it goes.
He's not playing tomorrow.
Yeah, he's not playing.
What hasn't the medical staff seen given the clearance yet? What is it? What are they telling you?
What's that?
What is the medical staff telling you in terms of why they haven't given him the clearance?
Yeah, it's really just the clearance is just obviously he's got to be cleared to play with the medical staff, and so. It's really about him feeling good about it and the medical staff saying that he can go in there and function. And he's just not there at this time.
Is it an issue of grip strength or?
It's everything. It's all improving. The grip strength, the accuracy, the ability to function as a quarterback. It's all right there. It's getting close.
I'm having trouble understanding. He's not playing, but he's doubtful. Is he out or doubtful?
Now he's listed as doubtful.
But you're saying that he's out. He's not going to play.
We'll see where it goes. The chances are doubtful, 51% that he's in or out, and it's going to be. We'll see where it is. We got a little time left, but again, we'll declare him out when he's out. Right now, we're still listing him as doubtful.
But will he go through any sort of pregame work tomorrow?
He may. Yeah.
Great.
This poor guy, man.
So first of all, wait, that's not a Saturday Night Live skit?
No.
Oh my
You cannot tell me that this is real at the podium, Chicago Bears, right now in Chicago. Like, this can't be real.
Oh, my God.
You know what you're seeing, Ryan and Maz, is the defensive coaches. You see yesterday, Robert Saleh was at the podium talking about I plead the fifth. What? This ain't the courtroom. The defensive coaches, you know what it is? They have no say in what the draft picks are in terms of if it's a quarterback. They have no say when it's an offensive system. They have no say on what to do with the quarterback. They don't know what's going on with that. It's above their pay grade. Everybody blame Robert Saleh. Everybody blame Eberflus. Like, I didn't draft Justin Fields. Robert Saleh said, I didn't draft Zach Wilson. This is the guy you wanted. And now I'm the guy on the front line taking the charge who knows nothing about offense and has nothing to say because you won't bring me into the meetings. You won't privy me to the three-way chat calls. You won't put me in a group chat with the owner, Woody Johnson, and Joe Douglas, or with the owner, the Hallis family, and Ryan Poles. They won't privy the coaches that are on defense to those kind of conversations. So when it comes to the quarterback, They don't know what the hell to say, what the hell is going on. Robert Saleh wanted Trevor Siemian months ago. Can't get Trevor Siemian in. When you're not an offensive coach, when you're not a Sean McVay, when you're not insert Kyle Shanahan, insert the rest of these offensive-minded coaches that are getting jobs, this is what it results to.
It's one thing to lose. I'm just speaking from purely a fan perspective now, okay?
Yeah.
We have gone through many losing seasons here in Detroit. It is one
this guy is Marty Morningwell.
Well, it's
he
like,
is.
What I want to say is like a brand, a sports team. It's a feeling. It's a feeling you have, and if you're the fan of the Chicago Bears right now, and you're sitting there losing games like this, 2-7. It's one thing to lose games when you feel like you're working towards something. You feel like you're on the incline. You've got a young team. Guys are buying in. You're going to get better.
They got 2 number ones.
It's a completely different thing when you know that you're going nowhere with this guy. So you're going to have to go through a firing. You're going to have to go through a hiring. You're going to have to probably wipe the slate clean with a new general manager as well. Maybe, maybe not. But then you've got general manager, coach, fired, hired. You do have 2 number 1 draft picks, and that's a good thing. But when you feel like your franchise is directionless, that is an absolutely lonely place to be. And right now, the Chicago Bears are a directionless franchise.
Yeah, just all the moves seem to not make sense. I mean, you look at, here's Montez Sweat. We pick him up. We give away a second rounder. Then we pay him $100 million. And we bring in, we get rid of linebackers. Not Reuben Foster.
Khalil Mack?
No, I'm talking about for the Baltimore Ravens, number 10.
Oh, yeah, he escaped.
Like, got rid of him.
Roquan Smith.
Yeah, Roquan Smith. Got rid of Roquan and then brought in T.J. Edmonds. How's that working out for you? Like, it's just every move they make, with the exception of DJ Moore, who's excellent. With the exception of DJ Moore, every move they make, you're just like scratching your heads. The people they get rid of, the people they pay, and now I just don't know. Stop hiring these defensive coaches. Like, it's 85 is gone.
If I'm the Bears owner, honestly, I have to get rid of both these guys. Ryan Poles has got to go, and Matt Eberflus has got to go. I know they were just hired a couple years ago. You've got 2 number 1 picks coming up. You've got a young nucleus of a team. You got some money to spend. You got one of the best cities in the country, one of the best fan bases in the country. We hate them, but they're one of the best fan bases in the country. You owe it to your fans to start fresh. And as much as it pains me to say it, I believe that Jim Harbaugh would probably be the best choice for the Chicago Bears. I do. I don't know who the GM would be, but I really believe that that would be the move that they should make. And I don't know how it's going to shake out here with Michigan. And I know it's a young man's game. Harbs isn't that old. John Harbaugh's done beautifully in Baltimore. Jim Harbaugh got to a Super Bowl with the 49ers. And he didn't have a great relationship with the general manager, Trent Baalke. So we know how that went. But the guy could coach football. You go in there, let him pick his quarterback. You got 2 number 1 picks.
Top 10 most likely.
Don't blow it. Chicago, you must dump both these guys.
You know what's funny, man, is you say it's a young man's game, and it is, by all regards. Like, the players, like, they don't want old players on teams. Like, they don't want older coaches. But the coaches winning the Super Bowl. The coaches still winning championships. I mean, Bruce Arians won it 3 years ago. Yep. He's nobody's spring chicken. This past year, Andy Reid, he's nobody's spring chicken. Dougie Peterson. Like, for much as it's a young man's game, with the exception of Sean McVay, it's all coaches that are 55 plus winning these Super Bowls. Like, if you start to look at it, it's still an old man's game as it relates to the coach. And then Bill Belichick, I mean, sure, he even is in there. If you look at it 6 years ago, so it's still some old guys winning the championships.
Do you guys think I'm way off base here with Harbaugh?
No, I don't at all. And I don't at all. And not only that, I am curious too, because what do you do with the quarterback, right? I mean, Dan Orlovsky said today that
you got to set him free.
He does not believe there's any scenario that Justin Fields is the starting quarterback of the Chicago Bears in 2024.
He can play. That kid can play.
Yeah.
He's got to escape
but
where
again,
he's been.
But again, if you are the Chicago Bears, and this is why you get a new general manager, you've got 2 top 10 picks already. You can probably get maybe another number 1 pick if you trade.
Probably not. Probably a 2.
Okay, so you've got 2 number 1s, and maybe you can get 2 2s for Justin Fields.
I mean, you're talking Trey Lance, who showed no flashes of anything, went for a 4 in Dallas. At least Justin Fields is showing you flashes. At least Justin Fields is rushed for over 1,000. Every once in a while, he makes a throw. You're like, okay, I kind of see when he was throwing the ball to Chris Olave when he was at Ohio State.
Did you see him in Seattle?
100%. I saw him. That's what I'm saying. But like he's shown flashes. So that's why I said, if Trey Lance can go for a 4, I see Justin Fields definitely a 2.
All right, guys. We'll go around the NFL. We'll do it next. But first, a message from Feldman.
Ooh, we're not paying attention. You know what? Feldman Auto is Michigan's largest Chevy dealer. It's the number 1 Chevy dealer with 18 locations. There's a Feldman dealership near you and one practically in your backyard. Use FeldmanAuto.com to find that out. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying service. It's called the Feldman Advantage. So what you want to do is take advantage.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Hey guys, let me tell you about Outdoor Equipment Company, your official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan-grown, family-owned, bad boy mowers, tractors, steel handhelds, even weed whippers, Liberty trailers, Generac generators, SnowX plows, and salters. Outdoor Equipment Company has it all. You could buy it, you could rent it, 0% financing, delivered to your doorstep. OutdoorEquipCo.com, OutdoorEquipCo.com. Quick generator story here. Woodward Sports Network. Quick generator story. So last night, sitting there watching the game, watching the Pistons a little bit, flipping around. Freaking power goes out. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me.
Are you serious?
From the wind?
I have no idea. It was barely raining. A little bit of wind. I thought. Not that I'm Clark Griswold, but I've got my lights on, and it gets dark.
It's my favorite movie.
It gets dark so early. I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm putting the lights on. So I put the lights on. I thought I had blown a surge or whatever.
Right.
Well, I go outside, and it's not my house. It's the entire block. My wife grabs the kids. We get in the car, and we drive for blocks to see how far the entire neighborhood is dark.
Gotta love the GPs.
And it's like, what in the world? So about a year and a half ago, we got a generator. And it was literally the best, worst money I ever spent in my life.
Agreed.
It's almost like insurance, right?
Yeah.
You hate to pay for the insurance bill every month. Insurance until you need it. You know what I mean? And boy, this generator has come on 6 times since we've
That's a saver, man.
Since we've
That's a
got it
lifesaver.
about a year and a half ago. Because now the power was out for about 12 hours last night, which gets cold, man. But thankfully for us, the generator, and this isn't about a flex, this is to tell you, if you need a generator, if you want to save up over the next 6 months maybe, whatever the case may be, to get it in the summertime, if you can't make a purchase now, man, look at Outdoor Equipment Company because these things will never fail you. You know, I mean, the
you have an all-home one that goes on.
Yep.
Does it go on automatically?
Flipped on 10 seconds after.
And it gives you the same amount of.
I have the same my whole house.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like we were just talking about like
We were because
like,
because you're going to lose your power 4 times a year minimum, twice in the winter and twice in the summer. It's just the way the grid is here.
Can I bring up something you just said before we get into the NFL?
Please.
Of course.
We've talked about Jaden Ivey on the show, and I believe we talked about it maybe at the beginning of this week, or was it the end of last week? You see what happened? You hear what happened last night?
Jaden Ivey, what?
Didn't travel with the team. Like, he's healthy. Didn't travel with the team.
What the heck?
Like, was healthy. Didn't travel with the team, and it wasn't for, family issues. It wasn't things like that. There's speculation. I always gotta use that word nowadays.
Okay, what's the speculation?
Well, he doesn't like not coming off the bench. I mean, he comes off the bench, and this is that young era. You want to start, and he started last year. Like because
it sucks because he's better than the guy that's in front of him too. That's a really hard thing. I'm gonna back up
because now it's like some smoke with him and Monty, and that's why
I'm gonna back up the kid for a minute, Jaden Ivey, because when you know you're better than somebody else that's in front of you at any job, it sucks. You know what I mean? And part of youth is expressing that frustration. Part of growth is understanding the consequences that come with expressing that frustration. So, I urge everybody that's a Pistons fan to give Jaden Ivey a little bit of a break, a little bit of a pass, see what comes of this, because 30-year-old Jamal Crawford, 35-year-old Jamal Crawford, who's the 6th man of the year,
my guy,
and loves and embraces coming off the bench.
Go Blue.
I'm sure wasn't the case when he was 22, 23 years old. So this is part of growing pains for a young player and a young team, and I don't blame him because Jaden Ivey is better than the guy that's in front of him right now. And it's no offense to Killian Hayes, but my goodness, if you watch the game of each player, it's very clear who the better player is. So I don't blame Jaden Ivey.
Yeah, I think
that's all I'm saying.
Who came out and defended him this week?
Now, if I can say this, Marcus Sasser's a damn good player.
Yeah,
Marcus Sasser, holy Toledo.
That was a superstar, or Jalen Rose. That's who it was.
He was at the game Monday.
He said, "There's no way in hell that Jaden Ivey is digging what's happening to him right now.
Yeah.
He should not be coming in off the bench." That's Jalen Rose, who's probably #1 Piston fan.
Yeah, Jalen Rose, #1 Piston fan, big brother of mine, friend of the show. Also, he'll be doing something with the Pistons soon, but he's right. And you're right. Jaden Ivey's got to start last year. He didn't start just because K was on. He started last year because he was the guy they saw potential. They saw a great backcourt. They saw a very elite, athletic backcourt. So now this year, Monty Williams comes in, and he's playing the guy that got paid, and Killian Hayes. So I just wonder what the conversation was with Jaden and Dwayne Casey versus what's the conversation like with Jaden and Monty Williams. So to your point, Ryan, I agree. Got to let this thing play out, but got to give him some more minutes, man, because I really want to see what he can do when he gets in there.
He wanted to come to Detroit.
Like, we've seen Killian already. Like we've had 4 years to watch Killian. Like, let's get some Jaden and Killian.
You sure Ivy wasn't sick? I don't know.
I'm just saying. I know people.
What was said and what is, a lot of times are two different things.
Got you. Yeah, I got it.
Let's not create any smoke here.
No, right. This is true.
No, what I'm saying is, let's not create any smoke here. You're sick tonight, young man.
Yeah, this is true.
Okay, coach. Got it. Sick.
There you go.
You know, I mean, that's just how it goes. While we're here on the Pistons topic, before we go back to the NFL, really disappointing finish to the game last night. Marcus Sasser was lights out. He had 26 points, but the Pistons had a lead late. I watched the end of this game, so undisciplined at the end of the game, just jacking up shots, bad shots. And they didn't score for a couple of minutes, and here you go. The Bucks come back without, by the way, Giannis Antetokounmpo, who was thrown out of the game
for staring at a ref
in the third quarter because people bought tickets to see the refs in this one.
I don't get it, man.
You know, but nonetheless, this is part of those growing pains, I guess, that happen, and you just got to deal with them. You got to deal with them because we don't have a chance.
I'm not an NBA player.
You don't have a choice. I mean.
Never played in the NBA, but one thing I can tell with my eyes, my novice eyes, that is watching the game, is one, they don't rebound well. Two, they don't play any defense. And part of playing defense, see, back in the day, like, you know how you got on the court? You got on the court no matter where you were drafted, unless you were whatever. You got on the court by playing defense. You play defense, now you get on the court, now you learn. The veterans teach you the game. You follow, you learn through the veterans. They don't have veterans. They're a veteran on the team.
It's hurt.
It's Cade Cunningham.
I was going to say Bojan.
Yeah, but he's not.
Yeah, he's
Bojan's not a guy that's leading you around. He's foreign. Like, you got like, Cade's your guy. Cade's your 3 and didn't even play last year, so they don't have anybody really getting them going. Like, when I watched the game, they got no rebounds. The defense was awful. And this is against a Warriors team that wasn't even trying until like 7 left in the 4th. So that's one thing that Monty's going to have to get through their heads, and I don't know what player is going to help them, get that going. But their second chance attempts, they don't get any. Offensive rebounds, they don't get any. And they don't really get out and get going. So that's going to have to change. I know they're young, but somebody's going to have to really step it up and get those guys going in that
What's
direction.
going on with James Wiseman? They don't use him? They don't want him?
They like Bagley more. And I think it goes on to the top of the question that we're bringing up, like, why are they jacking up all these shots? I think it's a chemistry issue. I think Jaden Ivey's coming off the bench because their starting lineup doesn't have enough chemistry together where you can fit Jaden Ivey next to Cade Cunningham. You can't fit Marcus Sasser next to Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham.
I love these 2 rookies, though.
Yeah, they're great.
Asar Thompson and Marcus Sasser. 100%. I love these guys. I love these guys.
If Chet Holmgren and Victor Wembanyama were not in the front runners of Rookie of the Year, I'm sure both of these guys, any other year, would be Rookie of the Year candidates.
Well said, Parker.
Yeah,
well
definitely well said. But with Wiseman, just answering that question real quick, I think what's going on with him is the same thing that the Warriors saw. Like, the Warriors tried to give him chance after chance. He was injured. When he was healthy, they tried to work with him, tried to make him that player. They really wanted to be him. Finally, they realized it couldn't be him, and so they were stuck with Kuminga and Looney. And I think the Pistons are now in that phase where they wanted whatever the Warriors saw in him to work here, and I just don't think it's working. And even when I went out to the game on Monday, like, it's just his body language. Like, and I know body language can vary depending on what your situation is, what your mood is, how you're feeling. But the body language just seemed like a guy that was over it. It just seemed like a guy that was like, he's accepted that he's not going to be whatever people thought he was going to be. Now he's trying to settle into the role that he's in now with this team. Like, that's just what it looked like.
That's too bad.
Yeah, it is, because you hate to see somebody's spirit kind of
I really thought this would be like a really coming out year for him.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Hey, Maz, can I ask you a question?
Please.
I don't mean to put you on the spot.
On the spot.
Every time I look over, you're biting your fingernails.
You nervous?
What's going on? You've been biting your fingernails the whole show. Every time I look over.
I got one bad nail here, and I didn't have the clipper, so I had to hit it with the teeth.
You've been hitting it for an hour and a half.
Right. I don't really feel good, and I don't appreciate you picking on me right now.
I know you're not feeling good.
I'm just trying to hang in there, man.
I know you are, and I appreciate you, and I love you, and you know it comes from a place of love.
I'm battling, man.
I know you are, and I appreciate you. I'm just wondering if everything's all right.
Yeah, everything's fine.
Okay,
go to hell.
All right. Screw you too, Maz. We'll go around the NFL next with Maz. But first, a message from the Hamlin Pub.
Have you ever wanted a bar where you are a regular? Maz might need that right now. We have just the place for you. Head to one of Hamlin Pub's 7 locations and experience where everyone is a regular, whether you're enjoying half-off pizza on Thursday or game day specials available during all Michigan sports and NFL games. Hamlin Pub is the place. Visit a location today and experience your new favorite pub for all things sports.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Well, it's me back again for Cintron because I don't think you understood the $100,000 Vegas getaway is here, and you have the chance to win. Go to drinkcintron.com/Vegas to have a chance for the $100,000 Vegas getaway. You can purchase Cintron from your local Meijer, so go to drinkcintron.com/Vegas for that $100,000 Vegas getaway.
How about it? How's everybody doing?
Well, great, man. How are you?
Thursday, doing fantastic today.
Are you watching anything right now, Ryan Ermanni, that is not sports related?
The back of his eyelids.
This is true. This is true.
You know, I'm not
really. Not too much.
Not really. No,
you
not
guys,
really.
anything?
I'm back to. I'm rewatching Ozark. My wife is watching Suits, your show.
Suits is
I didn't want to hook on to that show with her because then the 1 hour episode would take 2 hours. So I decided, go ahead, Kath, watch it on your own. Plus, that'll free me up to do what the hell I want to do.
I just finished watching this show on Netflix called The Fall of the House of Usher.
Oh.
It's 8 episodes.
You like that?
Yeah, it was good. It's about an hour each episode. Last episode was an hour and 16, and it's dope, man. It's about this man and his sister. They've created this powerful empire through the medical department or the medical field, and now it's kind of crumbling, but you see why it's crumbling. So you see the beginning, how they started. You see the crumble, why he's got kids, and I don't want to spoil it, but it was damn good. It's got some darkness to it. It's got some fun to it, but it kept me on my toes for about 8 episodes. So
I thought it was about Usher the singer.
No, I thought it was too.
That's why I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
And I heard about it. Somebody else told me how good it was. Interesting.
I was like, the fall of the House of Usher, but then I was like, well, Usher hasn't fallen, so this clearly could be about
Usher's doing the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah. Yep. He is.
I'm underwhelmed by that.
I'm still waiting for another announcement.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, when they did Super Bowl 50, they announced Coldplay, and everybody was like, Coldplay, they ain't even from here. And then you saw, like, after that, next thing but surely, then here comes Beyonce, Bruno Mars get added to it too. So I think somebody will get added to it. You can't, and I love Usher.
I love Usher too,
7
but
o'clock
Bruno Mars
the
was
dot.
at 50?
Yeah,
I watched him at Super Bowl 48 in
he
Jersey.
did three.
He's
Three
done
of them.
three.
I think,
Wow,
yeah.
I love the guy.
Yeah.
I can watch him
Yeah.
anytime, any day of the week.
Hey, give me a couple of NFL stories here as
Hey.
we go around the NFL.
I
here,
will.
man.
Well,
Wanna
Thursday
get
night
back to the bread and butter.
Thursday night football tonight. We told you a little bit about it today. It's the Bears hosting the Panthers. It's the battle for the number 1 pick, of course, which both belong to the Chicago Bears. So the Bears, is it worth them losing this game? So Carolina, no. If they beat Carolina, how is it better for the Bears this game?
Losing.
If they lose, they got the number 1 pick, but the Panthers
Go
pick
to
up an
2.
extra win. I guess maybe a tie
Don't
would
they
help.
have Arizona? Oh, no, they don't have Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona's leading
Carolina's
right
pick.
now.
Something
Arizona's
like that.
leading right
I
now.
can't keep it all straight.
What's the difference anyway?
Either way.
Bears are
screw
3.5-point favorites in this game. They shouldn't be favored over anybody, I don't think. So I'm thinking the Panthers will win this game. That's just a little side note for you.
Okay.
We had the Knicks last night, right? Didn't someone tell us to bet the Knicks
Yeah,
last
he did.
night?
He did.
And the Knicks walloped the Spurs, by the way.
Blew
It
'em
was
out.
an easy bet. We'll try to give you one a day. Robert Saleh, another coach that's kind of on the hot seat, guys.
Kinda.
Robert Saleh
It's a
was
wrap.
asked on his radio show a couple of days ago in New York about why don't you try to play Trevor Siemian at quarterback? You got Zach Wilson. Why don't you try Trevor Siemian? And his quote was what, Bray? I'm going to plead the fifth here.
Like he was in the courtroom. I just have never seen a press conference where a coach's answer was, I plead the fifth.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. It's almost like he forgot he was on the roster.
Does that mean?
It did.
Does that mean the owners And the GM say, you're playing this guy?
100%. And that's what I'm talking about. Like with the defensive coaches, they have no pull as it relates to the quarterbacks drafted, how the quarterbacks are playing, how the quarterback system is going to play out, if they're going to tank, if they're going to do this. So a lot of times as those defensive coaches, you just kind of left in the dark. And when you're at the podium, you can't go to the podium and say, well, they don't really tell me that. I kind of deal with the defense, or I tell you what they tell me. You can't say that at the podium.
By the way, another quarterback that's out there, one of my favorites is Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow yesterday in front of the Cincinnati Bengals media, they asked him, hey, Joe, Ohio State still claims you as one of their own. What do you say about that?
Does Ohio State claim you as a quarterback in the NFL? Should they?
I don't know. You have to ask them.
Do you feel like they should?
I always say I went to school at Ohio State and I played football at LSU. That's how I think about it.
That
Ohio
was
State.
Awesome. He
And
said,
I play
I don't know.
football.
I don't know. You got to ask them. But he said I went to school at Ohio State. I played football at LSU.
That's real. I mean, he has no ties to the football field in Columbus. He was a student. He did a semester, did 2 semesters, but he didn't play there. Like when you don't play, like you don't know that place. You can't claim that place. Like I didn't sweat on the football field. Like we didn't bleed together and try to win against Michigan. Like I was on the bench, then I left, and then I won national championship.
Right.
So.
Exactly.
Here, guys, I've been wanting to show this to you. This is the power rankings for the NFL right now. We'll put that up for you, Week 10, from the 33rd team. You can see our beloved Detroit Lions still in the top 10 there.
At least somebody has the Lions in the top 10. I've seen 2 where the Lions weren't even in the top 10 currently.
I got an issue here with the Miami Dolphins.
Okay.
The Miami Dolphins have not beaten a team that is above 500.
You mean the Miami Dolphins?
Right.
No D?
The Miami Dolphins. And I think Miami is starting to get exposed a little bit here. And so, yeah, I would not put them ahead of the Detroit Lions. Everything else I'm cool with, but I would put the Lions 6th and swap out Miami. Something about Miami, man, they talk a big game, and that 70-point win that really made a lot of believers in a lot of people. But their wins are against the Giants, the Panthers, the Patriots. They beat the Broncos, beat the Patriots twice.
Do you like the Jags as well?
The Jags have won 6 in a row.
I like the Jags.
Hold on one second. I would say this. To your point, I agree 100%. Like the Dolphins, every time they play somebody of note, they get beat down. But don't say they haven't played anybody with winning records, because neither have the Lions.
Well, they beat the Chiefs on the road.
I was about to say, with the exception of one. Relax.
Yeah, and
that's 1 out of 6 wins.
I know, and that's the fortune of their schedule, though, too, right? I mean,
I think this is the best power rankings I've seen. I think they're right on the money. I do.
I would put Cleveland as a top 10 team over Dallas and
Well, they're
Buffalo.
just on the outside.
I know, but
Dallas would kill the Cleveland Browns.
I don't know if Dak Prescott and that offense would do much about Cleveland and that defense.
I see where you're going with that, and I actually understand it, and I can vibe with it in terms of if you think if Cleveland played Dallas right now, they will win. Yes. And I understand that.
And if Cleveland played Buffalo, they'd win.
I understand that, and I agree with you. But based on what Dallas has done thus far, including a moral victory over the Eagles, yes, it is a moral victory because they still lost. I don't think you can put the Cleveland Browns above the Cowboys just yet. But other than that, I like the Dolphins and the Lions thing too. I think it's interesting.
I like it. It's good.
I think it's solid.
You look at that bottom row there. It's just nice to have 2 of those teams in your own division. And then the row
go
below,
up one.
You're right. Then the row will
Exactly.
go up one, and you got the other team in there.
I think the Texans should swap with the Steelers.
Yeah.
Texans and Steelers.
Well, the Steelers win. They win ugly, but they win. They win.
Everybody's just really still coming off the CJ Stroud game, and he's ball. I think he's had 4 games now over 300 yards. He's playing at a high clip. He's very accurate. I mean, that's one thing he was at Ohio State. I think the big reason why we didn't believe in him fully is because it was in the 4th quarter where he couldn't beat Michigan and kind of take you away from him. But he was accurate to that point. But it's still the Houston Texans, and we still got to let the season play out because they're trying to put the Texans in the Hall of Fame. Go ahead.
Speaking of C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans.
Okay.
It's a Top 10 Thursday, Top 10 Thursday,
Is that
Top
right?
10 Thursday. And coming up, we're going to reveal a redraft for you, the top 10 picks. If you could redraft the top 10 today, who would that be? We'll have that for you next.
From what draft?
This one.
Oh, okay.
2023.
Okay.
But first, a message from Planet Fitness.
Yes, Planet Fitness is your home on the judgment-free zone where anyone, and I do mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym with tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this just for $10 a month with no commitment. With more than 50 convenient locations in the Metro Detroit area and thousands more throughout the world, there is always a Planet Fitness nearby. Find your local Planet Fitness today to join or visit them online, as always, at planetfitness.com.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Hey guys, when it comes to your pet, you want to give them the best. That's why you want to give them Premier Pet Supply, Michigan's hands down best pet store, family owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food at the lowest prices available, and curbside delivery as well. So Premier Pet Supply, give your pet the best. Check them out online at premierpetsupply.com.
All right, guys, I'll ask you how to do this. It's a Top 10 Thursday. Going to give you a list. If you could redraft the 2023 draft right now, who would take the top spot? What would the top 10 look like? ESPN did that yesterday, whenever they did it. It was within the last 36 hours. And do you guys want me to go from 1 to 10 or 10 to 1? What their list was?
Whatever you're comfortable doing.
1 to 10?
Go 1 to 10, because if we go 10 to 1, we'll see the order already different.
Okay.
You see? Does that make sense?
Yep.
Go 1 to 10.
All right, number 1, the number 1 overall pick. You guessed it, C.J. Stroud. He went number 2 overall, but C.J. Stroud, 1,461 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
So he's going to the Panthers.
Unbelievable. He actually did throw an interception, but it was ripped out on the run back, and they recovered it, so it doesn't count as an interception.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
so that
nice.
was good. But C.J. Stroud, number 1. Number 2.
Okay. I know who this is.
Jalen Carter.
I knew that was
defensive tackle for the Philadelphia Eagles. He was selected 9th overall, but Jalen Carter, with his 12 tackles, 3.5 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles, is number 2 overall.
So he goes to the Texans.
He would go to the Texans, essentially. The number 3 overall pick. You'll never believe it. You'll never guess it in a million years, so I'll just tell it to you.
Sam Laporta.
Huh?
Sam Laporta.
No. He was selected 177th overall in this draft. Puka Nacua, wide receiver from the LA Rams. Just having an incredible season for the LA Rams. Nacua would be the 3rd overall selection. His 46 catches, 572 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Number 4 on this list. He was selected number 84 overall. It is Devon Achane. How do you say his name?
Achane.
Achane. Achane, the running back from the Miami Dolphins. 460 rushing yards, 5 rushing touchdowns, 2 receiving touchdowns. Guy has been doing it all.
He's been out a month
for the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, that's a reason they're kind of hurting.
Number 5. He was selected, number 5. Devon Witherspoon goes in the same place that he would go. Devon Witherspoon for the Seattle Seahawks, 5 overall, 23 tackles, 2 sacks, an interception, and a defensive touchdown.
I know the next 3.
Okay.
Bijan's in there somewhere, Anthony Richards is in there somewhere, and Zay Flowers is in there somewhere.
You got 1.
Wow.
Number 6 on this list. He was selected number 45 overall.
So does the Lions.
Brian Branch.
The Lions
would be selected in this spot. 25 tackles, 1 interception, 1 defensive touchdown. Brian Branch there. At number 7.
Yeah.
The Christian Gonzalez,
he was having a good year before he got hurt. Yeah.
from the New England Patriots, 17 tackles, a sack, and an interception. At number 8, he was selected number 34 overall. He's the tight end from Iowa.
There you go, Michael
Sam Laporta
Oh,
would be selected at number 8 overall. So 2 top 10 picks for the Lions at this point. At number 9 overall, he went number 8. In reality, Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson, number 9. And at number 10, he's a guy that was selected with the 3rd overall pick by the Houston Texans, Will Anderson Jr., with his 21 tackles and 1 sack. Couple of guys that just missed the top 10. Zay Flowers, wide receiver from Baltimore. Keanu Benton, the defensive tackle from the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Anthony Richardson, the quarterback from the Indianapolis Colts. The biggest disappointment in the first round would be a guy that Lions fans know very well because he was mocked to them the entire time, and that's a Raiders defensive end, Tyree Wilson.
Where'd you say
pretty good
Bryce
list,
Young
I
went?
think. Say it again.
Bryce Young?
Bryce Young is not on this list anywhere near it.
Bijan Robinson is it's a quagmire in Atlanta.
They don't give him the ball?
They don't I mean, their head coach is talking about, yeah, we can get him the ball here and there, and we can put him in different places. They're just not giving it to him.
Right.
I don't get it.
And that coach is not a good coach, Arthur Smith.
He's not even a football coach. Isn't his father the
founder of FedEx?
Founder of FedEx.
His father?
His father's the founder of FedEx. Like legit, it's proven. It's not a.
His name is like Franklin Smith or something like that.
And he works for the guy that founded the Home Depot.
Yeah.
Ain't that something?
So that's like, hey man, hire my son.
That's amazing.
Hire my son. But no, man, this is one of those situations where you got a kid, Ryan, and you've been on Bijan Robinson pause like before he even came out. Had to throw that in there for you.
You on Bijan Robinson pause.
I got your back though.
I love this.
I got your back, brother. And they do it everywhere now. Like so, it's not like Fox 2. We appreciate you. I've seen them on Fox 2 say it too, so we appreciate that. But this is one of those situations where you get a coach that doesn't know how to use a Ferrari like that. Bijan Robinson is an absolute Ferrari, man, but you got him in the garage and you're out there driving that Honda Civic. Get him out of the garage. I don't care that you can't figure out the quarterback situation. I don't care that you can't figure out Drake London and what those guys are doing. Give the running back the ball and let him see what he can do.
Yeah, he should be getting the ball about 20 times a game, especially with Taylor Heineke as your quarterback and or Desmond Ridder as your quarterback.
They love Algiers more.
Right.
He gets the ball more.
He's a pretty good runner. Don't disparage him, but he ain't Bijan.
Man, I'm not disparaging him, but at the end of the day, Bijan Robinson is your first round pick. Like, let's split time. Let's figure it out.
Maybe he's not good.
And honestly,
we saw him the first 3 weeks.
Just saying.
You know who's like really a mystery for me too?
I love how players get drafted to bad teams because they go high in the draft, and then it's maybe they're not good. Maybe they need time.
With Atlanta, you know who's just an absolute mystery to me as well is Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
I mean, Kyle Pitts was supposed to revolutionize the game. He was one of one, and I mean, he's fine. It's not like he's terrible, but
once again, here it goes. Like, look, the reason why Kyle Pitts had 1,000 yards his rookie year, who was his quarterback? A real NFL quarterback, Matt Ryan. He had 1,001 yards. He had 9 touchdowns. Insert Marcus Mariota. Yeah. Insert Desmond Ridder. Insert Taylor Heineke. Insert Arthur Smith, who doesn't even want to get the ball to Bijan Robinson, which would help Kyle Pitts. So a lot of times it's, you say this, Ryan, it's where players go.
It's not yet.
It's where players
I
go.
really, truly believe that. I mean, your talent will take you so far, but in this league, you do need a little bit of help, specifically in a lot of different positions. If you're a wide receiver, it helps when you have a good quarterback. If you're a running back, it helps when you have a good offensive line. When you're a defensive back, it helps when you have a pass rush, somebody that's going to get to the quarterback and make you not defend for as long in terms of seconds that you would. So, I mean, a lot of this is just common sense. But a lot of this is, I see this now at 44. I didn't see that at 15. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just, you suck.
This is true.
You know what I mean?
That's it.
Right.
You don't have the stats, you suck.
Right. Go ahead,
so,
Parker.
I think the Atlanta Falcons are kind of in a similar situation to what the Raiders are in, where they have a lot of talent on offense. They have Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson. They just don't have a quarterback, and they don't have a guy that can actually coach. I think those are their two biggest issues.
And those are the two biggest problems in any team. You can't coach it, you can't quarterback. You're not going to win a lot of games.
So, yeah, there you go, guys. We'll come back, wrap it up next. But first, a message from Mark White. How about that? Mark White.
When buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time for any reason with no penalty at all? That is exactly what Mark White and Associates is offering. It's called their minute by minute listing agreement. Try Mark White's risk-free minute-to-minute listing agreement today. Looking to buy or sell real estate? Call this number right here, 248-290-8242. That number again, 248-290-8242. MarkWhiteSells.com, where flexibility meets success.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Join Woodward Sports and Laundry. Get your tickets today at bullseyeeventgroup.com. It's the Lions VIP tailgate starting at 9:30 until game time, and they're very serious about that. When game time starts, you got to be out of there. But it's at Eastern Market, it's at Shed 5, and it's going to be a blast. How would you like to be a part of the pregame? If you come, we can get you on the show. We'll have games, we'll have events, we'll have things for you to win. It's going to be a great time down at Eastern Market Shed 5. Get your tickets online, bullseyeeventgroup.com, or win some stuff from Woodward Sports today. Just subscribe to our YouTube. We appreciate you. bullseyeeventcompany.com.
There's so much going on, so little time. I'll ask you guys, do you want to do Brett Bielema on Michigan, or do you want to do Lane Kiffin?
Brett Bielema.
Okay. Do you have Brett Bielema? I'm just getting the Brett Bielema in right now. I'm just getting the Brett Bielema in right now.
In the meantime, I'll tell you about.
Yeah, please.
Did you know what team was missing from the top 25?
I did.
This week. Did you notice?
Yes, I did.
I did.
Who do you think it was?
Lane Kiffin used to coach there.
USC.
Right. USC.
USC, for the first time under Lincoln Riley was out of the top 25.
He's got all that whole plane to himself.
Isn't that
He's
something?
got all that pad, that $12 million pad overlooking the Hollywood Hills.
Where's James Madison? There they are, number 21.
They should absolutely be allowed to play.
Hell yeah, unbeaten.
Yeah.
At USC, man,
what a mess, man.
Lane Kiffin, last year it worked for him. Transfer portal, Caleb Williams, Jordan Addison, the $5 million receiver out of Pitt, which pissed Narduzzi off. Yeah, it worked last year, although they lost to Clayton Tune and Utah late. This year, just that defense really became a thing. Last year, the defense wasn't good. They masked it. This year, they couldn't mask it. That defense was horrible, man. They got them kicked right up out of that top 20.
Hey, I got the Heisman watch for you guys as we wait for our Brett Bielema comments. But let's put up the Heisman watch for you. Here we go. Look who's still in it, Ryan.
Michael Penix, Bo Nix, J.J. McCarthy. Yeah, he's still in it. And
even though Greg, what's his name?
Doyle.
Greg Doyle says, I'm not going to vote for him.
Well, the next 3 weeks are going to be everything for J.J., right? I mean, these numbers aside mean nothing. If J.J. goes out there and throws 4 touchdown passes against Penn State's vaunted defense on the road in Hapless Valley, he's going to be up there. If he comes back and throws another 4 against Ohio State, he'll be in New York. If not, he won't. But I want to play for you Brett Bielema on the Michigan side stealing.
This is the Illinois head coach.
This is Illinois head coach Brett Bielema.
That was kind of hinky, or that was kind of weird. They happen to know exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, I appreciate the question. Obviously, we don't play them this year, so
Right.
I haven't really. You just get so consumed where you're at. But listen, when the point in time comes where I can say something, I'll have a lot to say. I went in this conference. I played in this conference. I coached in this conference at 2 different schools.
Sure.
I remember being in this league as a head coach at another place where I literally got a call from a coach the day after we played him. They called our people during the course of the game. It was Fitz at Northwestern. We were at a home contest there, and he called me and said, yesterday we had a chance that your signals were coming over our headsets. He told his people to put them down, change the channel, and competed in the game, right? And I thought the highest moment of integrity, here's a moment, right? And what's being discussed said, I don't really know anything more than what I know. It's kind of, I said this a couple weeks ago, these stories are always so much better when you're not in it, because we don't obviously play them. But, in 1992, when I became a GA, I remember my mission in 1992 was to find out when they signaled personnel to go on the field.
Okay.
So that's how I started as a young assistant GA. And you gather information every week that way, which is totally legal, right? Like we got buddies that play at other teams or conferences, right? But if something was going on off campus, like it's been noted, right, that they were at our games before we played that game last year, that opens up that's sickening. It's disgusting, right? But I'll let them figure that part out. And I think as coaches, we just got to hold the integrity of the league. Just everybody's got to feel that everybody's playing by the same rules and kind of go forward from there. So don't got much more than that. I'm really just kind of focused on Indiana, but it's oblivious that everybody's going to be talking about it. Yeah, I guess.
So it was a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah.
But, Pat Fitzgerald, it's so funny, too, because everybody sticks up for everybody. You stick up for your friends. Pat Fitzgerald, who was just fired for a frat house in this incredible hazing situation at Northwestern, has the utmost integrity when it comes to sportsmanship.
Exactly.
Everybody just sticks up for themselves.
You say whoever your boy is going to be your boy.
Right.
And you're going to ride it down with him.
Exactly.
And they ain't going to stick up for Michigan. Nobody will stick up for Michigan.
Nobody likes Jim Harbaugh. Nobody likes the guy that beats your tail every year. Nobody liked Urban Meyer. Why? Because he won, and he did it his way. It's no different. And then you had our good buddy Jay Feely this week throw a torch and say, I was in NFL locker rooms for 20 years. The Ohio State guys would brag on how much they got paid over the last 20 years. So you tell me about fairness and integrity in this and that. Come on.
I told
Take
you.
a walk.
I told you the Troy Smith story, riding with him in the car. And the Heisman, and they have cops, but it's just different at different places, man. Like everybody's doing something, but they don't point the finger at you. It's not good.
Red Wings tonight, Maz. What's going on with the Wings lately?
Wings are up and down. Well, they had a good game over the weekend. Now they get the Montreal Canadiens. They lost to the Rangers a couple nights ago. Home cooking again tonight. Got to see Alex DeBrincat come out of I would say a mini slump. Well, because he was the red hot guy at the beginning of this year. But to see Montreal, that's got to be a fun game. They're calling it Sweden night tonight at Little Caesars. Next week, matter of fact, this weekend I think they head to Sweden. The Red Wings did.
Did you say the Montreal Canadiens?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me check them out, man. I've always liked their uniform.
Well,
they're old school.
They're one of the legends of all sports.
100%. They got this is true.
Most Stanley Cups.
They got the most championships. Them and the Yankees.
got it.
Maz, I appreciate you playing hurt today, man.
Thanks, buddy.
You are an incredible trooper, and we love you.
Love you too,
no
man.
load management today, man.
No load management. I'll be spraying Lysol down here, so no one else.
I'm not going to give you a hug after the show.
I know that.
Today.
I stayed away from you.
I know you.
I
did
know
good,
that.
Maz.
I'm trying, man.
It's the holidays now. I can't get sick. I don't want to touch nobody.
I got it. Yeah, you be that way. You keep running.
Yeah, I'm going to keep running. I don't want to touch
running.
nobody.
I don't run from anybody.
I love everybody.
Hey, listen, I don't run from anybody. You can cough and everything on me, and I don't really get sick. I'm battling. Everyone in New Jersey got sick. The whole wedding party, everybody is sick. They're sick. So whatever I got in New Jersey, I brought back here to Michigan.
Oh, thanks. That's how it spreads.
That's how it spreads.
That's how it spreads.
Get on your elderberry, man. Get on your elderberry.
Oh, I'm loaded up,
your
man.
turmeric, apple cider
I didn't
vinegar.
do that.
Hey, I got some stuff for you, man.
Hey, I got a colonoscopy in a couple weeks.
Oh, good for you,
Just fill you in.
Jack.
Just wanted to fill you guys in.
The worst part about the colonoscopy I hear is the prep.
I know. I've had them before.
Oh,
and,
really?
The prep is horrible.
Really? What's up with the prep?
What happened?
The prep sucks.
What is the prep?
Colonoscopy is,
No, I know what a colonoscopy is. I said, when did we get to the part of the show where we're all 60-year-olds? What's going on?
Well,
we got a young audience.
I get it early.
We got a young audience.
45, you got to get it.
Okay, all right.
I'm just filling the guys in.
We got a young audience.
I'm filling them in.
Man?
But you got to drink this stuff, and you got to unload. You drink this stuff and unload.
I'm out, man. You get us out of here, man.
I got to get strong, man, for the colonoscopy.
Close us out, man.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow, guys. Love you.
Tuck coming.